All right, we are back. Another edition of Who You Got podcast. Like before we get started, just a reminder, please follow us, like our YouTube channel, subscribe, all the things. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, hit us up, whoyougot33@gmail.com. We'll be happy to give you a take on anything you want to hear. And we had a few come, so we'll get to those takes later in the show because we have to start with one thing and one thing only. And we haven't talked in a week, and normally we start at the beginning, Jimmy, and go to the end, but we're going to start right with what happened last night, because how can you not talk about what happened in Game 4? 29 points down, and somehow your Knicks come back. The Spurs find a way to lose in one of the most incredible things I've ever seen, and even final sequences. I think the thing that impressed me most, that I think a lot of people don't even realize, was, and Jimmy said it to me earlier, it was like, it was a 4-point game with 3 minutes to go. It wasn't like it was a mad dash with 2 minutes to go and they were still down 10. It was a ball game with 3 minutes to go. They were down 29 in the second half. And what were they down? 15 going into the quarter.
15 going into the fourth. Hell of a comeback. Kind of the Knicks story, as you've said, started last year, the Boston series. Sure wish they'd start the game out better. We'll talk about that in a moment, how it started and my gripes with the refereeing. But yeah, just a great comeback. You got to give credit to Mike Brown for going deep in the bench. I think he played, he played 12 guys last night. I mean, everybody got a few minutes.
Well, everyone's going to get a few minutes when you're down 29. You're just annoyed.
Well, part of it was Cat's in foul trouble, and then you could see that Mitchell Robinson was clearly winded playing as many minutes, so they needed to put Hokporty in for a second. So Hokporty got a few minutes, and then they just kept rotating bodies and it was awesome. So yeah, it was unbelievable to the point where I was watching in the third quarter and I'm thinking to myself, okay, here's the things they need to hit. And they need to be down by X amount by here, by X amount by here, by X amount by then. If we can get it sub 20 going into the fourth quarter, they've done it before. All of a sudden they're down 15. And yeah, they were just going on these runs. They'd go on a 7-0 run, then the Spurs would score a couple, then they do it again, and they just kept chipping away from 29 down all the way to the comeback. And then even at the end, I mean, the ending was phenomenal with Brunson. Well, I mean, you have Hart miss a layup, then you've got Wemby missing 2 free throws, you've got the missed 3, the tap in, the inbound pass, they keep him from getting a shot up. I mean, just absolutely wild. So I was pounding on the floor yelling. I didn't wake my kids up somehow. It was really exciting.
The last minute sequence was wild. It was almost like, who doesn't want to win it more? I've never seen anything like it. Well, and DeAndre Fox has got to take a hit here. I mean, this guy has not had
I'm coming. Absolutely.
I mean, that bounce pass, Ryan, he threw to Wemby, he missed him by 5 feet.
Yeah. Forgetting the fact that he was the one that took those last 3 shots, and I think it was within 2 minutes, and he was 0 for 3. But more importantly, there was 2 minutes, 42 seconds to go in the half. They're down 29. And somebody asked Wemby, like, what went wrong in the fourth quarter? He's like, I think it probably went wrong before that, or some version of that. And that's exactly right. They mailed it in. They were down 29 and took 8 straight threes, and New York put up a 15-0 run on that. Like, what are we doing? How can you not waste that amount of time as a professional making, $250 million as a whole? It's some stuff is going to happen out of that, but let's take it positive that the Knicks never gave up. And we've talked about it the entire time. They are crushing records like crazy. Forget the comeback. They've dominated, and you got to give them some credit here. From Brunson on down to Towns. And let's talk about Wemby's elbows. Somebody's got to be responsible. I know he's a tall guy. I get it. There's some exceptional kind of things you've got to judge. But some of these elbows have been really dangerous. They can really hurt somebody, and I want something done about that. I don't need it done going backwards, but going forward, somebody's got to watch that. Someone's going to get really hurt.
Well, I will tell you, going back to in between the 2 games, they reviewed the foul on Brunson and determined it wasn't a flagrant. Somehow grabbing somebody by the head and throwing them is a basketball move. But had they done that, and then he got the flagrant last night, he'd be suspended because that would be 4 points for the playoffs for him. So he would so obviously the conspiracy is the NBA wants to avoid not having Wemby out there, right? But how you could look at that play and in any way, shape, or form think that's a basketball move when you grab somebody by the head and throw them.
You probably didn't understand what he said because he said it like this. You gotta get those guys, I love you. That was Shaq. Shaq was the only guy on the halftime show was like, no, it's not a foul. You get the little guys off you.
Shaq also was a big guy and like pushed back on people, and people were assaulting him. I think that's happened a little bit to Wemby, but not in this series that I've seen. He is the one dishing out.
There's a difference between shrugging somebody off and grabbing them with your hand
by the head,
and
whipping them to the floor.
And fully extending with an 8-foot wingspan or whatever.
And then kind of laughing at him, right? Like proving like, hey, I know what I did.
Yeah. I like the guy. I don't like that part of it.
No, I'm learning in this series, like he's a dirty player too.
He is. Like, let's talk about the fouls in the beginning of the game last night that set it off. And again, the Knicks, I was thinking this when I'm watching it, like I'm going to bitch about these fouls. But as the game went on and we got to halftime, I'm like, okay, they weren't going to win anyway. Like right. So I'm not going to use it as an excuse for why they lost. They came back and won, so we don't have to talk about that. And to your point about the second half, Ryan, that's on coaching that they were jacking up those threes. And they were red hot in the first half. They were shooting 60%. I don't know. It was close to that from three. They couldn't miss. You had to assume they were going to slow down, but not necessarily to make up 29 points. But let's start with the Cat hook. The hook, this Cat's second foul, which totally derailed the game because he had to sit down with only a couple minutes in, was a ridiculous overturn call. It was not a foul called in real time. And when they reviewed it, you can't tell me that was substantial evidence to make that a foul going the other way. He didn't have it locked down. Wemby kept his arm in there, and when Cat was moving, he was running back and forth. That was absolutely ridiculous. Follow that up with the goaltend that should have been called on what's his name afterwards. Then Wemby hits the ball while it's above the cylinder. They don't say anything about it, and then Wemby blatantly loses the ball out of bounds. And this all happened in a very short span of time. And you're watching it going, like, what is happening right now? Like, I can't believe this. Then they get hot. Like I said, okay, I can't blame it on the fouls. The Knicks are playing bad and the Spurs are on fire. But all's well that ends well. However, it was really tough to watch the number of bad calls that took place in a very short period of time.
You know that Jimmy's a Knicks fan. I'm not a Knicks fan. I did not like the Knicks for lots of years. I was a huge Bulls fan, and I still am in some weird way. But he's right. Like, you can't look at these things and not let it build up and irritate the crap out of you. I get it. There's star power. There's something to that. And, that the Knicks have, $27,000 minimum tickets. And you go to San Antonio and they've got, what was it? Something dancing on a basketball or something? A fox? Something that was the halftime show? It was something along those lines. If you look it up, I saw it today. But regardless, you can't have that. It's got to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, my note was from Game 3. Was Wemby just gets away with way too much, and Jimmy kind of already alluded to it because they want him out there. But he's just, I mean, you're gonna foul people out like Cat. I mean, Brunson had 5 fouls in one of these games, and I mean, they're barely calling anything on Wemby. It's ridiculous.
But he doesn't. Yeah. He doesn't need to do it because I said it last show. The steps he makes, the shooting ability. I mean, he's an unbelievable. That's great.
He's frozen.
He's frozen.
Yeah, he's frozen.
Yeah, he's gone. He looks like he's in the middle of a good point.
He does. Everyone watching on YouTube, we'll leave it up there. We don't have this out. So
he's about to drop his best point yet of the show. Right there.
Yep. That's it.
Guess we'll never know.
The show actually didn't want it. So they couldn't believe it was coming, and they said no.
Yep. Nope. We feel like this is going south fast. Let's go ahead and
pull a pause. I don't know what that service problem is that he's got that he can't work out. But yeah, I mean, the problem is we can sit here and debate, but there's nothing to debate anymore. To me, this is done. Like, it's over.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, so fickle. If New York goes to San Antonio and loses, now the pressure's back on them because they've got to win back in the Garden because they don't want to go back to San Antonio for a Game 7. So I hope you're right. I hope this is deflating for them. The Knicks prove they won't stop fighting. They haven't started a game well yet. They've been down by double digits every game in the first quarter. You have to think at some point and figure it out. They showed Mike Brown before the game talking about just that, getting off to a good start. And they said, hey, how about we don't?
Yeah, exactly.
And then, hey, bet you
we'll show you. We'll be down 20 quick.
Yeah. Hey, don't boss me around, coach. Yeah. I'll do what I want.
Yeah. Want to bet?
Yeah. So hopefully at some point there's some sort of big bounce back. But I mean, you can't give enough credit to OG Anunoby for how he's playing, how efficiently he's been playing the last couple of games. He seems to have nerves of steel, doesn't get rattled, plays great defense, and he's really upped his offensive game. And Grand Theft Alvarado really played a sharp game last night as well. I think they made the good point on the post game that getting a second ball handler in there was a big help for Brunson. Yeah, I mean, just great moves all around. Shamet had 0 points. I mean, Shamet's come up huge in some of these games. I don't expect all of these guys to stay laying down, and I expect Cat to not get these cheap fouls, hopefully, back in San Antonio on Saturday night.
Well, that's the scary thing here if you're a Spurs fan. Knicks really haven't played a great complete game yet. If they do, you might get a 30-point beatdown in Game 5, and that might be the end of the finals in San Antonio. That could be what happens.
Could be. And look, I think you can't help but watch this and think that San Antonio is the future. That they're unbelievably young. Dylan Harper is going to be their second best player. I think that's pretty clear when you're watching these games. But he's 100% going to be their second best player. I think Dylan Harper is going to be Dwayne Wade. So that's how good I think he's going to be.
That was one of my points from last night. Dylan Harper didn't take a shot in the last 10 minutes of the game. He might have been your best player in the first 3 quarters.
Yeah. He looks like he can get to the rack anytime he wants, and he's got great balance, and he's way stronger than his size would suggest. He doesn't get pushed around, and he doesn't hit the ground very often. But the kid's 19 years old, right? It's unbelievable how bad Rutgers was last year with this guy on the team.
Yep, I know.
He Wemby and him for the foreseeable. You got 22 years old, 19 years old. San Antonio is going to be a problem for a long, long time with those 2 guys there.
I thought we agreed last year when we started the show that we would never talk about the 25 Rutgers team again. Has that never talked about them again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't.
No. I still can't believe how much they cost us. I still don't understand how they're bad. It's one of the things I'll never understand.
Nope.
Well, there are 2 more points I have about the NBA. We're just gonna have to ask them, get your opinions. Did Trump fall asleep? Yes or no? I mean, he looked out to me.
Yeah, I think he fell asleep.
A little nod off. I think so.
I'll defend Trump here. He's got a lot going on right now.
He's 80 in 3 days. He just demolished the entire East Lawn of the White House. I mean, who knows what's going on? And
right.
Good for him. It's fine. Does it really matter?
You can take a snooze. You can take a snoozer every once in a while.
Yeah, not getting political. Who gives a shit? Like, let him do it.
As far as stuff Eddie's got going on, this is probably the least serious. He's planning. He's got wars. He's got inflation. He's got a lot of stuff he's dealing with right now.
He's got a major UFC event this weekend to manage.
Oh, which is going to be a good segue here in a second. But my other question is, he looked almost a little surprised. What did he think was going to happen when he walked into Madison Square Garden? They were going to give him a standing O? I mean, so you cannot be shocked they're booing you. You had to have known that was coming.
I don't know, man. Yeah. You go into New York or Philly and you start changing the citizens' plans for the evening, on last minute. They don't give a shit. They're gonna tell you what they think, and that's fine. All those watch parties that got canceled because the Secret Service canceled the areas.
Took me 45 minutes to go about 7 blocks. I was with Jimmy's wife trying to get from one location to another in the city. Got in the taxi, and it said about 65 minutes to go 20 blocks because Trump was in town. We had to get out and start speed walking to make it to where we needed to be on time. So yes, I get it. I would have booed him too. Okay, stay out of the city. Stay out of the city. The traffic's bad enough. We don't need your motorcade in there too.
Yeah.
Creates a whole thing.
So speaking of the White House and what Ryan just brought up, Jimmy, it's time for a little UFC 250, I believe.
It is. Before we jump in to 250, from just some updates from last week, if you followed us, you went 3-0. So, we had a really hot start to our UFC picking. We never got totally cold. We just started going 50-50, and now we're back on a roll. So if you followed last week, it went how we said it would. Bonfim won convincingly against Bilal Muhammad. He looked younger, faster, the whole 9, as we talked about. Brandon Allen won a unanimous decision, as we thought he would. And last but not least, Bryce Mitchell, big step up for Santiago Luna, even though he had the much better record, and it proved to be so. Bryce Mitchell won the fight. Luna did take it on short notice, but Bryce Mitchell won. So into UFC
Well, before
250.
you go there, I'm going to give Jimmy a plug. Jimmy had a great show last show because he also gave you the Belmont winner. He said Golden Tempo was going to win, and Golden Tempo won. And all I'm going to say is no real horse stuff this week. We'll get into a few more big races in the summer, but this horse is legit the real deal. So now we have to keep an eye on him. If they point him the right way, he goes to a prep race at Toga and then moves on to the Travelers and then goes to the Breeders' Cup Classic. We could be looking at a real horse of a lifetime here because he did not get a setup at all in this race. Someone called me right before the race and said, do I take Golden Tempo? I said, and I'll be honest, I said, absolutely not. He's never going to get the setup that he needs. He's going to try to follow his brother all the way around the track, which is exactly what he did, by the way. But then he passed them. This horse is the real deal. So Jimmy was really not 3-0. He was 4-0, and he gave you a very, very undervalued Golden Tempo because you got 6-1 on him almost. So nice show, Jimmy.
Excellent job, sir. You
got to give a win every now and again. So this is going to be a very good card. We've talked about it. We'll give the picks at the end as we've talked. But I'll say something about each of the fights, but I'll only go in depth on a few of them. First of all, the kickoff fight is Diego Lopez and Steve Garcia. Any other event, this would be the co-headliner or the third fight, worst case scenario, on the main card of a numbered card. Diego Lopez was on a 6-fight win streak before he got a title shot, lost to Volkanovski, came back, beat Lord Gene Silva, who is a badass fighting nerd. We'd love to watch him and bet him. And then he got another shot at Volk and lost. But those are his 2 losses to one of the greatest of all time in this weight class. He's fighting Steve Garcia, 2-fight win streak. The last 2 fights he's had were versus Calvin Kattar and David Onama. These are 2 badass dudes. Those are 2 really good wins. Calvin Kattar was really on the way up. He's kind of leveled off, but he's still a badass. And he's on a 7-fight win streak overall, 6 of these fights by knockout. So this is going to be a hell of a fight to kick off the card. Again, this would be way up there. I think this is too big of a fight to even headline a fight night. This would be on a numbered event, co-main event, or the third fight out. Bo Nickel, Kyle Dawkins is an interesting fight. Bo Nickel is 8-1. His first loss was in May. He lost to RDR, Renier de Redder, who, no shame in that. He was on a streak. But I don't think he has, if you look at his resume, it's not overly impressive. Kyle Dawkins has kind of got an interesting story. He was in the UFC, lost a few fights, didn't get his contract renewed, went back down to a smaller league, won a bunch of fights, became the champ there, and has come back and won both of his fights in the UFC. So this is just kind of an interesting story. It'll be a fun one to watch.
If I can jump in then there, that guy is just a killer, Nickel. Just a killer over the years. Yeah. So no doubt 8-1, that's pretty good. But remember, he's probably 25, 26 now. National champion, maybe 4-time national champion in wrestling. So if he gets his hands on you, he's going to do it. And if you watch him when he was, I believe he was a freshman, when he flipped a former national champion in a chance where he went down and then rolled him and pinned him. Unbelievable heart in that guy. So I have a feeling that, although his striking ability may not be at the top level yet, his wrestling ability is. And I'm going money line on him, and I'm going to throw at least 3 or 4 units on him.
All right, I don't hate it. We'll talk about those odds at the end of the fight. You're gonna have to throw a few to win one, but it's not a terrible bet. Then we've got some fights that we don't need to dive deep into. They're good fights, but betting wise, we're not going to talk about them later. Mauricio Huffy, who we like, another fighting nerd, is fighting Michael Chandler. The thing with Chandler is he came in with a lot of hype. He fights exciting fights, but all he does is get beat. However, all he's done is fight some of the toughest guys. He lost to Poirier. He lost to Charles Oliveira twice, who was a champion. He lost to Paddy Pimblett, who was up and coming. His only win was against Tony Alcuy Ferguson, who was on the way downside of his career. And he's 40 years old. He's fighting Ruffy, who's 29. This, Greg, if you remember, is the guy that wheel kicked King Green and put him out. He lost to Benoit Saint-Denis in France. This was the card that also saw another fighting nerd lose in the main event, Kyle Bahalo. But he's come back. He's beat Rafael Fiziev. He's won 12 of his 13 fights by knockout. He's going to win this fight. Vegas obviously agrees, so we're probably not going to talk about it later, but it'll be fun to watch. After that,
the Black Beast.
The Black Beast.
Look, you're impressed, right?
The Black Beast. I love it how you love the Black Beast. This again, he's fighting Hockett, and we'll talk about the odds later. And he's the big underdog,
Big dog.
but he wins when he's a dog, and any of these guys can knock anybody out at any time. Like there's just now Hockett's got a big mouth. I mean, he's really creating a lot of. He got on this card from. He wasn't originally on the card. He got on the card from things that he was saying in the last fight that he had, and he's a hell of an athlete. You know, ex football player, played in the NFL. Very, very athletic guy. A lot smaller, 30 pounds lighter than the Black Beast, but you got to think he's more athletic and he's going to be a lot faster. However, when you're coming in on him, you and I know Derek Lewis can knock you out with one punch if you duck the wrong way. So it's a big step up for Hockett too. You know, I don't think we're going to play this one, but maybe Greg will. I'll tell you right now, there's no way I'd lay the money on Hockett. It's just too much, and I wouldn't put it in a money line parlay. Too many variables at the heavyweight division. Too many things can go wrong. Next, we've got O'Malley and Zahabi. This is another fight that could headline just about any card. O'Malley, one of the greatest, one of the most fun fighters around. A lot of these guys, as they mature, they don't have, well, it's really because they start fighting better competition, so their knockouts aren't as flashy. But I don't know if you all remember this, but he was on the Contender Series, and Snoop Dogg was like his biggest fan. It was a big thing. Snoop was at all his fights. Loved O'Malley. He had a really nice start to his career, 1-4, then he lost to Chito Vera. Then he went on a run and ended up getting the belt. I think he beat Aljamain Sterling, which is Aljamain is a badass. He's a Long Island guy as well. Then he went on to defend the belt against Chito Vera, won that, and then he lost a couple times to Merab. Valashvili beats everybody. I mean, he did just lose to Peter Yan, but he was beating everybody. What's interesting is O'Malley has the victory over Petr Yan. So I don't see any ways Zahabi gets this fight done at 38 years old versus a 31-year-old O'Malley who's healthy right now and focused. But again, just another big name on this card. Unbelievable. So really good fight there. Any comments, gentlemen, before we get the two main events?
No, it seems like this next fight is the fight of the night because it's the only one that has odds that are semi-close. That's my problem with this card.
Yeah, like Greg said, like if you're going to pick people, you've got to start thinking the extra things, right? Over a certain amount of rounds or, knockout or something, because a lot of these odds are wrong. But, well, not wrong, but they're like very accurate. So just the favorites are good. If you want to go with it and you can find some value somehow, do that.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, the names on the card look better than the odds would suggest. Like I said, that first fight is where you're getting pretty good odds, minus 155, plus 130, Lopez Garcia. So that's one we're gonna play. I'm actually gonna go. Well, I don't want to give it away. We'll pick it at the end.
Well, this one's basically a pick 'em. This next one.
So this one's a pick 'em. Yeah, this is Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gahn. So Pereira is 13-3. One of those losses was his first fight ever. He got submitted. So he's really 13-2 if you scrub that off of his record. And his two losses were to Israel Adesanya, one of the best ever, and Ankalaev, both of which he also beat once. So he didn't really avenge Adesanya. He won, then he lost, and then he moved up weight classes. Ankalaev, he lost. We picked Ankalaev, but he turned up Alec was hurt, and he came back and beat the shit out of him. Wasn't even close. If he wins this, he'll be the first ever 3-division champion. He was a 185 champ, he was a 205 champ, and now he'd be the heavyweight champ. He's fighting Cyril Gahn, who's 13-2. Now Cyril Gahn is a big guy, but so is Pereira. They're both 6'4". Pereira's put on a lot of weight. Cyril Gahn is a kickboxer, had a very good kickboxing career before he entered the UFC. His only two losses are to Francis Ngannou, who is still currently the best heavyweight in the world. He just doesn't fight in the UFC. And to John Jones. John Jones dominated him. 2 minutes, subbed him. I mean, yeah, his one and only fight at heavyweight, steps up, fight for the belt. John Jones is maybe the GOAT, right? So it's tough to say. It's a tough fight for Pereira because it's a different skill set than John Jones. Alex is going to come in and strike with you. He's got jiu-jitsu. He's got it all, but that's kind of what he does. He keeps his hands down. He's got a funny stance. And you can't take a shot from Cyril Gahn, a guy this big, and continue to fight forward. However, when he hits you, when Pereira hits you, people just go out at any given time. And he's also considered one of the greatest of all time. So what I think happens, and Cyril Gahn's last fight, he got disqualified for poking Tom Aspinall in the eye so hard he had to have surgery multiple times and is still out. I think Alex wins this fight. I think he steps up. I think he becomes the 3 division champion, the first one. They showed a picture of him about 8 weeks ago when he's at 250. He's fight at 185. He weighs 250 right now, and he was chubby. He's got a belly, and he said, "Hey, I got a belly. I got this. We're into camp. Just wait till you see me on fight night, right?" And maybe he will. John Jones had a belly on fight night, and he still tapped him out. But this is going to be a fantastic fight. I think Alec Pereira gets it done. I think that the power will be big from Cyril Gahn, but even with the extra weight on, Alex is going to be too fast, and he hits like a truck. Great fight. And last but not least, Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje. Most people counting Gaethje out of this fight. I understand why. Topuria is just running through everybody. 17-0. He can submit you. He can knock you out. He's going to be faster than Gaethje. He's going to have cleaner, crisper strikes. But Gaethje is also fantastic. He's got 5 losses. He came in the UFC fighting just with reckless abandon. And when he kind of toned it down, he went on a great run. Since he toned it down, the only 3 losses are to Khabib, who's another guy that is considered possibly the GOAT. He just retired really young, but undefeated. Lost to Oliveira, got submitted by Oliveira, who was one of the greatest jiu-jitsu guys to ever, still fights, but ever in the UFC. And he lost to Holloway in that classic last-second knockout where they both stood in the middle of the ring and pointed at the mat and just started throwing bombs. Otherwise, Gaethje's beating everybody. He's considerably bigger than Topuria. Don't forget, Topuria's stepping up from 145 to 155. Justin Gaethje's 5'11", Topuria's 5'7". So to think Justin Gaethje doesn't have a chance, the way he throws, the way he's trying to take people out consistently, I think is a little crazy. However, Ilya's a favorite for a reason. His boxing's unreal. He's extremely focused. He's very crisp with his shots, and he can submit you. He can take the fight where it needs to go. What I think happens probably, he catches Gaethje. Gaethje doesn't go out. Somehow he gets on him, and I'm betting there's a submission. That's my early estimate. But I will be, and I like Topuria. I like him a lot, but I'll be rooting for Gaethje in this one. I want to see a great show, and I wouldn't be shocked either if Gaethje got the upset.
I'll be rooting.
It's going to be a great card Sunday night.
And I'll be putting 1 unit on Gaethje, who right now is plus 370, as far as I see.
I got 390 over here.
I got 390 as well, yeah.
Yeah. Well, regardless, we all know, whatever's going on, whatever your politics, there's going to be some fun things to watch in this event. So enjoy it. Tune it in. It's going to be great.
Well, I'll leave you with this. One of the fun things is going to be they're going to be fighting in 92 degrees and humidity, which is a wild thing too.
Whatever that is. That's what's coming up.
You know, that's something you're going to have to factor into the handicapping as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole thing. There might be some rain. But I'll tell you what, not to jump back to the fights, but this is something Rogan, who knows more about MMA than I ever could if I studied forever. He's talked about this for years, about how weight cutting is really bad for the sport. And I mean, think about it. The only way, and he hasn't said this, but the only way I can think of it is think about a night you went out and partied hard and you woke up dehydrated and you felt like shit and you had to go to work all day. Well, they're basically doing that to themselves, right? Completely dehydrating themselves. They're half dead getting on the scale. And then 24 hours later, they have to rehydrate and go to a fight. Right now, they have a little longer now, but still. This is the first time that Alec Pereira's ever fought without having to cut a pound. Like, he's going to go in more mentally sharp, feeling better, no fatigue. I think that's going to be a big factor. I think we're going to see the best Alex Pereira yet because of that. But you're right, Greg. We're going to have to factor all of that into the handicapping.
We lost Ryan once. Now Jimmy goes. I mean,
Listen, it is black outside. I don't know what the weather is doing right now, but I may not be here. So it's lovely knowing you if that happens.
The first round must have made it up to Jimmy.
Yeah, it is insane.
Hopefully he'll be back in a second here, but I know I get what he's saying. That factor, the fact that he doesn't have to cut weight and go through that whole process, it's probably why he's a minus 520 favorite.
Yeah, I was a wrestler. It was a lot. And listen, we can talk about a million different ways to try and combat it. The fact of the matter is, people are going to be willing to cut, and that's just what it is. So you've got to be on a level playing field. You know, you might be wrestling at 170 pounds, but you walk around in the summer at 210. That's a possibility. So that's a huge amount of strength, just grip and overall mass to someone that walks around at 180 and is cutting down to 170. And the same thing happens in MMA. And I don't know how to rule it, but it is what it is, and it's what they deal with. So he's not wrong. But I'm a big fan of Gagey, and I hope Gagey has a shot. I think the only bet in that is throw, pizza money, half unit on Gagey for plus 370 and go from there.
Yeah, I'm staring at the rounds on that one. Can we get a fight to go over 1.5 rounds in the heat, or do you think that
that's the challenge?
That's why
a little nuts. So that may be the best bet. Get it plus 1.5.
Yeah, and that's why it's. I think Jimmy's back. I think that's why a lot of these round props are sitting at 1.5 because they're going to be fighting in humidity, 92-degree heat.
Yeah. Like the humidity when I saw it this morning is in the whatever it is, normal is like around 40 to 50. The humidity's like 70. It's hot as hell out there today.
Yeah, some of these guys are doing training in hot rooms and whatever. Some of the other guys aren't, but yeah, it'll be a thing, right? It'll be like fighting at altitude in Mexico City at 11,000 feet. I mean, there's always a factor, but.
Well, you watched that today in the Mexico game, not to get ahead of ourselves, but those teams were exhausted. That South African team was exhausted. You could tell.
All right. Goal Vegas as we move on here. Vegas gets up 1-0, but that means nothing in this series. You know what? We'll jump right to the NHL for a second. It means nothing in this series.
Absolutely.
Because Vegas can be up. We learned Vegas can be up 4-0 going into the third, and still lose. Or not lose, but the game goes to overtime. My take here is I cannot believe Tortorella. I don't care what he says. Guy gives up 4 goals a game. Give Adin Hill a shot, and maybe he catches fire in these last few games. Corey Hart, I get it. He's made some big saves, and I know what he's saying. He makes the hard save and all this. Jimmy, he still gives up 4 goals a game. You're basically telling your team you need to score 5 or we're losing tonight, boys.
You're not wrong. The only thing you're wrong about, you keep saying Corey Hart because you're thinking about I wear my sunglasses at night. It's Carter Hart, but that's okay. Yes. I prefer Corey Hart too. Maybe he'd probably do just as well in goal. The crazy part about that game last Saturday is they had 6 pucks go in the net in that second period. 2 of them were called back.
2 were called back.
Yep. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I dozed off in the third period and I woke up and I was like, "What the fuck?" And so
how are we going to overtime?
Yeah. And so I woke up, I watched the first overtime. I'm like, well, we're gonna keep going. You just assume it's a kiss of death for Vegas and the comeback's on, and then that puck that went off the boards hit the guy in the skate and bounced off the defenseman and bounced in, which was the second one of the day, right? The goal in the second period that what's his name got credit for, his first goal of the hat trick was really scored by the Carolina Hurricanes.
One of you to explain to me, how is it possible that through this entire series that somebody is doubling up somebody else in shots every fucking game, every game?
Yeah,
how is that possible? Is that a coaching thing? Is it a player thing? Is it a strategy thing? What is happening?
I think it's what you're seeing in these games. It's just one team grabs the momentum and is clamping down, and they're scoring. And then in a little burst, the other team plays well and somehow ties the game.
I don't know, man.
In a couple
really
of these games,
weird.
Vegas has been, Vegas in Game 3 was the better team for 50 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we were headed to overtime.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's been the whole series. It's been a good series.
Yeah, it's been real exciting. It's been extremely exciting.
And that goal's the same way. The goal, the goalie's not doing anything there. There's no chance. The defense didn't do their job. They let people too deep. It's wide open. He just tapped it in. Just tap it in. No problem.
Right. Game 4. If you had Vegas plus 1.5 goals, God,
I'm not joking. I think I got you there.
Pour one out, because all he was trying to do was clear the puck around the boards, and it took a ridiculous ricochet and went diagonal right into the middle of the net. Count it.
Boom.
I had Vegas plus 2.5 in that one.
Yeah, that was fortunate for you.
Yeah. I bet 10, 118.
Yeah. So, that's really all. That's really all I got on the NHL until we see how Game 5 here plays out. Except one question for Ryan: why do we got to hate on PK every game?
His outfits are horrendous. Come on. What? I'm not going to say what Jimmy said, but I'm going to say he looks ridiculous. What is he doing?
Maybe
he's going so far to one side or the other. Man, it's like the puffy shirt from Seinfeld 25 years ago.
Like a pirate.
pirate shirt. Yeah, he looks awful. Like, what are we doing, dude?
Looks like a pirate sponsored by Pepto Bismol.
Yeah, tonight he's got on like a, I don't know, a Louis Vuitton like fucking cowboy hat. Like, what are we doing, dude? Stop it.
He watched some Yellowstone. He's pumped up. He wants to wear a cowboy hat today.
He's up on Park
Fine.
Ave in the 60s, like spending, $20 grand on a hat. Stop it, bro.
Jimmy, your thoughts?
I mean, look, he wears stuff like runway models wear certain things that are supposed to be like aspirational. They're not real clothes. That's what he reminds me of. A guy that's wearing things that are like. But I gotta tell you though, I like his commentary though. Like I like his passion when he's talking about like he's very good. So but it is funny looking at Messier with like the classic blue suit, conservative tie. Like,
right. That's what I'm getting at. Like he's off to the right. Like what the hell is that?
Yeah, it's definitely the yin and yang. But no, I like it how you've got the center Messier out there, and you've got the defenseman, and you got two different perspectives, and they're both passionate and good. I like the dynamic.
Yeah, I got no beef with the comments.
Yeah.
I do have a beef with this comment. Why is Bryson all of a sudden just like, yeah, you miss cuts, it's golf? Like it's almost like he doesn't care where he finishes anymore.
I think you
get that feeling from his comments.
Honestly.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's deflecting. I think it's the too cool for school. Like, yeah, I know it's not good, but whatever. I don't care anyway. But he really does care deeply. A lot of the things I saw today, a lot of the stories are about him trying to get back into the PGA full time now. Like that's like he wants to path back.
I didn't see that this morning. He's made a 180 here.
Yeah, that's the rumor mill right now is that he wants back. Yep. So he's trying to find a path back. So I think those comments are deflection or the cool kid, like, I didn't want to win anyway. Like some you make cuts.
I hear you.
Yeah, like that. It's only. I mean, come on, you can't. He's clearly extremely competitive, right? You see him.
I thought so until he was like, it's golf.
Yeah, you see him. You see him on the course though when he makes a bad shot or when he's trying to line. Like how seriously he's taking an approach shot. Like there's no way that's how he really feels. It's just his defense mechanism, I think.
I can't judge what you just said, but I can't disagree either. I can just say that like a guy like that is hyper competitive. If you get to the level of PGA that he was at, it's hard to turn that stuff off, right? It doesn't matter whether you're like, look at the Sergio commercial from 15 years ago where you're like pushing the shopping cart in, you're like, this is how good these guys are. And that's what they care about. They care about winning those little things, and whatever battle, contractual or personal or business, doesn't matter.
You see it reflect on the betting market. The betting market's given up on him. He's 27-1 for the U.S. Open. If you remember, he was about 10-1 at the Masters.
Yeah, going the wrong way. Like, he's not playing good. I mean, golf is mental, and he's not playing good golf right now, right? So until you see him play well again, I think that's why.
But again, he's just going to take that and roll with it. He doesn't care. That's fuel for his fire. Look at the dude. He doesn't give a shit. I don't think.
You like Brooksy a little bit, 25-1.
I always like Brooksy, and he never comes through. So, but yes, I like him.
He's the defending champ out there, right?
I don't know if he is or not.
I believe he is. I believe he won at Shinnecock.
Maybe he did. Did you?
Ryan's gonna look that up.
Did you see the Phil news today?
Oh my God, I sure did. Phil, throwing the red challenge flag out there on Phil for inappropriate contact. Yeah, Phil got kicked out of his local club after like decades and decades and decades of being there for inappropriate contact. Of course, the Phil camp has swept that right under the rug. It's a misunderstanding and everything's been cleared up, yet he's not allowed back in the club. So, I don't remember this
but they also stopped him mid-round. The leadership approached him on the course and stopped him playing. That's not something you do when you're not 1,000% sure something happened.
Right? Yeah. I'm sure there's probably video evidence out there or something.
Well, that's the thing. There's always video evidence out there these days. I like to translate for our audience. When Phil's camp says the misunderstanding has been, that means the woman has been paid off. Everybody. What that cost? 5, 6, or 7 figures, Jimmy?
7.
It's at least 6. I'm
gonna go 6.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go on the 6.
7 plus 2.
Yeah. It's wild.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
it is unbelievable. That's really all I got in the golf, unless you guys have something until next week. Next week we'll be
Nah,
diving
you're right.
in.
He's 35 to 1. Brooksy is, and yeah, he has a US Open win there, but who knows?
He does. He's the defending champ at Shinnecock, right?
2008. No. 2018. Am I crazy?
Yeah, but that was the last time it was at Shinnecock, I think, right?
That was the last time it was at Shinnecock.
Oh yeah.
So he's the return. Yeah, all right. So he's the defending champ there.
Yeah.
It played. I was there for the final round in 2018. It played ridiculous. I think it was Tony Finau who was in the lead going into that final round. Brooks came from behind.
Yeah, not sure, but that course is brutal. Watched it before.
That course had between that course and the World Cup, it altered my travel plans for next week because every hotel where I need to be is $500 a night.
Oh, it's the traffic out here is absolutely.
I'll be staying in an Airbnb.
Yeah, right. A 7-bedroom Airbnb.
Well, you brought up the World Cup. We're gonna break down more, get into matches later in the show, but I just want to know what's your feeling on the men's team here, on the U.S. men's team. I thought they played Germany tough in that final tune-up. We open tomorrow against Paraguay. What do you think? How are you feeling going in?
Ryan, I'll let you kick it off because you know more about the European football than me.
Same it was. They're going to do okay. You're right. They got a good draw on the group play. They're going to finish second, probably.
They're going to win the group. Go ahead.
Okay, fine. But
I mean, Turkey's not winning the fucking group, and we're going to beat Turkey. Get the fuck out of here. Go ahead.
I doubt that, but all right, fine. Whatever. I think they're going to come out number 2, and I think we're going to lose the first game. That's what I think. And I am a homer.
We're going to lose? Tomorrow?
In the first round? No. After group play. They're going to make it out of group play in number 2, and then they're going to lose. And that's going to be it. That's what I think. They just never live up to the hype, Greg. I'm sorry, buddy. I got to go with the odds. But from a fan point of view, I'll be rooting for them 100%. I will not bet against them. Don't get that.
I said it last show. I've made a fortune betting against the U.S. men's team over the last 20 years.
I know.
I have a funny feeling for some reason this is going to be the World Cup they make a run. And I think they go to the quarterfinals and maybe the semis.
I'd be super hyped in that. I'm not going to make any money off it, unfortunately, but I will be very excited because I'll be watching and cheering like crazy. I watched the game today in Mexico. It was the most boring game ever. Loved it. Watched the whole freaking thing beginning to end.
All right, Jimmy.
Yeah, look, I wish I had more to contribute to this. I don't. I mean, I know Christian Pulisic, and that's about where my knowledge stops, but I promise you, when this is all said and done, I'll know a lot more because I will be locked in tomorrow night at 9 p.m., ready to rock and roll.
All right, well, let me ask you this then. Maybe this you can comment on because I think it played a few times during the NBA game. Did you see the commercial with the AI-generated stuff of the U.S. winning the World Cup? See this?
I don't know if I did or not.
Okay.
Was it pretty awesome?
It was one of the best commercials I've ever seen because it cuts to these guys back in a bar. Obviously, it's fake, right? And the guy's like, "No way." And who do you think's at the other end of the bar?
Kraft?
No, Mike Eruzione. And he goes, "What? You don't believe in miracles?" And then he walks away with his U.S. Olympic hockey jersey.
That's awesome. Yeah,
it's a fantastic commercial. Look it up.
That's awesome.
So my question was, and I think I texted it to you: if they pulled this off, would it be greater than the '80 hockey team? Equal to? As close as you can come, or would it be better?
I mean, I think it would be
if they won the World Cup.
I think it would be at least equal to. I mean, what were the odds when Miracle happened? What I know obviously in
$1 billion
the gold medal game we were big underdogs, but like in general.
Whoever the heavyweight was, what was his name? It wasn't Rugen, whatever.
All right, I'm going to sound off here for a minute as one of the 1980s experts. We would have been like, if the betting was like it is today, we would have been like the 6th or 7th betting choice. Okay. Jimmy, for the love of Christ, never say that again. We were not playing Russia in the finals. That was the semifinals. The gold medal game was not them. Everybody fucks that up. Yeah. That was not a medal game. That was the semis. That was the opening round of medal play.
Was it Canada?
Who
did we beat in the gold?
Sweden.
Oh, okay. Maybe I got my just Soviet Union Rocky stuff mixed up from that time frame. I don't know.
It's not you. It's everybody. It's one of the most common mistakes in sports.
Mhm.
Just like people think the Mets won the World Series on the ball through Buckner's leg. It was Game 6. They didn't win shit.
Yeah. Fair enough.
That was a horrible miss, just to remind you.
But at your point, the original question and what you said, we were 6 or 7, what are we, 16 here?
12 to 18.
Well, that's where we're ranked. But yeah, if you go ahead, run down the list. You have the odds up, right?
Let me pull up the futures here. Hold tight. Futures.
Was that an Office reference?
It might have been. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 16, basically. 4, 6, 8, 15. So we're, 15.
The 15 choice.
Yeah, tied for 14, I guess you could say, with Japan.
Oh my God.
Yeah, just because we're not expected to do anything, I don't know. I think it would be very similar, and it's on our home soil. It'd be pretty wild.
Yeah,
Here's a question:
Man.
Would it make people continue to care more? I know people care more now than they did 10 years ago, but would it fast track soccer like they've tried to do for years? Would it all of a sudden become more popular if we pulled this off?
And by the way, sorry, I missed that. We was Finland. We beat in the final game. It was 4-2 Finland. It was 4-2 over Finland. Sweden lost huge to the Soviets, because I always screw that up, because Sweden got a medal, and for some reason I don't know how it worked back then. Finland for some reason didn't get a medal, even though they played in the gold medal game.
That doesn't make any sense.
It makes no sense. The Soviet, if I remember, Sweden got the bronze. That's why I always think it's Sweden. You can look it up, but I think it was, and somehow the Soviets still got the silver, if I remember correctly, and they played in the third place.
Well, that would explain if that's the case. That would explain why we thought it was the Soviets that they played.
Yeah, it makes no sense. I don't know how they fucking did. I don't know how they did it back then. Look, things were weird in the 80s, you know. All right. We said a lot. We're going to move on from soccer. We're going to be back to it, though.
Did you see? Games are great. They're really fun to watch.
You see what was going on in Vegas? I mean, it's still going on because they're playing, I think they're opening against the Rockies tomorrow. You see the Vegas ballpark with the A's?
Mm-mm.
Like, the game 2 was 7-5. The third game wasn't too bad. It was 4-3 over the Brewers. The first game played there was like 100 out. 15-14. It was like a fucking launching pad. They were putting stats up where a fly ball was literally in 30 ballparks, a fly out before the warning track. It was a home run in this park.
Really?
Yeah. You couldn't keep it. You can't keep it in the ballpark. Like this, they're thinking like Vegas, the Vegas A's, it might turn into Coors Field on steroids.
Colorado, yeah, years ago. They always talked about that.
Especially in the summer.
Wow.
I'm surprised that was there for a long time. Just launching bombs.
It was unbelievable. Like, it looked like flyouts, and like it looked like, you know what? It was like a pop up to short, and the shortstop was like, "Oh, I got it," and then the left fielder was like, "No, I got it," and then the guy in the first row caught it. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, that's wild.
The stats were crazy, and like they were showing like the launch angles on the bats when it normally is for a home run, and it was like 15 degrees off, and the ball was still going out of the park. It was just like the exit velocity, Jimmy, on one of them was like 90 miles an hour.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so bad.
That's wild.
So things could get real fun in another year when they start playing in Vegas full time.
That's crazy.
All right, Jimmy, where are we at MLB wise? How you feeling when you're looking at these standings? And then I'll give you some takes when you're done.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few things in the MLB that we're looking at. I mean, the Rays and Yanks are tied at the top right now, and Judge is out. So let's see how long the Yankees can hold on to this, or is Tampa a paper tiger? I mean, they've been good before with no payroll and fans, but we'll see if they can. We'll see if they can continue down that path. Mets just continue to disappoint and be the absolute definition of mediocrity. 5-5 in their last 10. Right, pulled one off today. They're still 8 games under 500. What's crazy is I think they're only 5.5 back of a wild card spot, which really drives you nuts with their payroll and their talent, because you're not done. Like, the season's not over. If you just catch a streak, you could be okay, and they just won't. And they just can't seem to put it together. Dodgers have 141 run differential right now, which just seems absurd. Feels like their record should be better.
That is insane.
Right? Like, I mean, come on. And, they're starting to put some space between themselves and the Padres. But yeah, I mean, it's a wild number. I'm not going to talk about the Sox because Greg's going to want to do that when he gets back. But Scooble's back for Detroit, so let's see what that does. He's been out for basically 6 weeks since late April, and he's coming back. So they're down and out, but the AL still is mediocrity would be being kind to it. It's not good. So they're not done. We'll see if Scooble can kind of get his groove back and do well. And I don't know if you saw, but your Max Scherzer for your boy for the Jays, 3,500 Ks. Just he's only I think the 10th or 11th player to do it. But
it's time for the 2014 Tigers rotation to retire.
Yeah.
Verlander, Scherzer. It's been fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you for your service.
Yeah, he hit 30. He hit the 3,500. It's a milestone of sorts. So good for him. And then there's the Sox that just won't fire.
Oh my God! It's like
they're like their chief.
We're not even considering firing our chief baseball officer. We're great. They made no moves and they suck.
The president literally said it's not on the table.
Not on the table.
Not on the table. Yep, not
even an option.
I can tell you that there's some good people in the world, and Paul Skeens is one of them. The guy went out, and I saw this all over the internet. I know Jimmy cocked his head there, but he spent 2 hours at a Little League game the other day. Amazing. Okay. There's video of it all. He just hung out. He signed all the autographs. He was driving home. He saw lights on. He pulled over and did his thing. Those guys, number one, need to do more of that. And the reason I say that is because you cannot have a $250 million platoon of a team, the whole group, and just be crappy versus a group that costs $40 million. We've got to figure this out somehow. I really wish there could be a solution. I don't see it coming, but at the same point, that is the major problem of the Major League.
Paul's bored. Yeah, he's got nothing to do. Livy's filming the new Baywatch, so he's got
totally
a lot of free time.
And good for him, though. But good for him. Look at the videos.
He's going to be like the Pam Anderson character in the new Baywatch coming out. And
fine.
Did you see there's a reboot or no? They're running it back. It comes out in January on Fox.
All right. Oh, she's in the show, not like a movie with The Rock. It's a show.
No, she's like legit going to be like probably like the Pam Anderson type character.
Awesome. All right.
DJ Parker, if anyone was wondering.
Hey, not that you were a fan. Yeah, look, I don't know. I think that Skeens is probably bored. The Pirates aren't dead yet. No.
Well, that was more of my like high level story. Like that's fun. I like that. But at the same point, I could care less about what's going on in baseball but I don't know, July 20th. Like I don't care. It doesn't matter. But people have to make some moves, and they have to do some things, and they have to spend some money. It's embarrassing for big time teams like Boston to be where they're at.
That's true. From a betting angle, now is a good time though to start looking at like odds to make the playoffs. Because if you remember, because you're a Jays fan, this time last year, Jays didn't look like they were making the playoffs, and you got some nice odds on them. And then they went on their run right around now. They started playing unbelievable baseball.
Listen to him.
There's going to be a team or two that does that now. And like where some of the teams I think could do it, the Jays could definitely do it again. I'm still holding out hope that the A's are going to make the playoffs. I still think they might. The one long shot I was thinking about, I don't hate the Marlins to make the playoffs. They're still like 9-1. They're only one game under. Their run differential is only 6. They've ripped off 5 in a row, 8-2 of their last 10. Maybe the Fishies make the playoffs.
Could happen.
All right. Beautiful. Thank you, boys.
I mean, I don't think it's going to happen.
It's possible, but it's hard to care about baseball like at this time of year. You know, it really is.
No, I do. I was trying to find I for some reason my futures aren't pulling up to make the playoffs right now.
They're down. Yeah, they'll put them up later tonight, probably when some of these games end.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, because that's what I was looking for. Because some of the divisional bets are sort of asinine at this point. There's only a few divisions that you can realistically bet with or at least what I think to be any confidence. The AL Central, you can still get some good odds. The West, you can get some good odds. After that, unless you think a miracle is going to happen. I mean, you could, maybe Donnie Baseball will get the Phillies in, and you can get them at 5-1.
Colorado Avalanche lost, right? I mean, they were minus 360 to win the cup at one point.
I quickly hit on this College World Series going on. They'll start tomorrow. I will say a lot of the big dogs didn't make it there. That usually happens every year, but to me, the biggest disappointment this year was Auburn. I mean, they were the 4 seed, but they were at home and they had a pitching staff they had an unliked out pitching staff that just shit the bed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the fact that Auburn couldn't get there was probably the biggest disappointment. I would tell you, if you're looking to bet a future right now and you want a little bit of value, I tell you, take a flyer on West Virginia or Ole Miss.
You saw some of the Auburn pitchers are entering the transfer portal, right?
Good, they should. Get far away. Put yourself on a milk carton because everybody in Auburn hates you. All right, Jimmy. Wait, here it is. Sorsby reinstated somehow. Jimmy, how does happen? How's this guy allowed to play sports again?
I because he said it was an addiction. Maybe I went to rehab. There's a lot. This guy Cody Campbell.
Was the Texas judge a Texas Tech alum? Because I didn't look it up.
Maybe. I mean, people are pretty pissed about it. And, Cody Campbell's the billionaire guy. I don't know exactly what his title is in Texas Tech on their board, but he's a huge donor. And, he's really fighting this tooth and nail, kind of like the woe is Texas Tech. If LSU did this, nobody would care. If they did this, nobody would care. They don't want Texas Tech to be good. Like playing that song if you watch the interviews with them. But, yeah, I don't know. Some other people they're trying to compare it to Chambliss, but Chambliss was legitimately hurt and got another year of eligibility because he was injured, and the NCAA messed up with his eligibility. But Sorsby gambled on games. Isn't that a test?
Gambled on games,
yeah.
And he's back.
No, I mean,
and the judge is
like a bunch of S's to that. Like it's like hundreds of games, if I remember right. Seeing the stats,
and he bet on some weird
900
shit,
something bets, including things where he was suited up to play in. Like it's insane.
Hey, Greg calls that a Tuesday, but
yeah. You're not lying.
So I mean, it's not that unreasonable, but yeah.
Let me be the first to admit I would have shaved points in a hot second. If I was a college athlete. So.
But the
if I was a college quarterback, my friends would have made a fortune in Vegas.
Yeah, but the NCAA, they just need to disband.
Over under 1 picks, Jimmy, take the over. No problem. I'll have it for you in the first 2 passes.
Listen, if anyone on the NCAA is listening, you're a bunch of douchebags. You guys are all assholes, crooked, take money. Whatever it is, your judgments are stupid. There's nothing for the fans that's in your decision-making process. It's annoying. Make some sense. Have some logic.
My favorite part of the story was Georgia and Nebraska coming out and saying, we won't play Texas Tech anymore. If I was Texas Tech, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah. Great. Fantastic. Thanks for not kicking our ass. Yeah.
If I cares.
The Big Ten came out with a thing about it, and then they kind of walked it back, as well. So
who?
The Big Ten, as a conference.
Yes, I saw that, Jimmy. Yeah,
because there's so much money involved. That's the problem. That these old boys, whoever they are, and that's a generic term, they're just screwing with the game. NCAA, you don't mean shit. You're useless. Go away.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
it's every sport, by the way. I'm not talking about anything. I'm talking about every issue they want to judge. They have no ability to get it properly looked at, proper decisions, execution of those decisions. It's just they're an embarrassment to themselves. Basketball, swimming, track, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, they did. We've talked about it. They've got themselves into this hole. It's out of control, NIL. Then it's because you didn't give them anything. You try to right. It's like when people finally escape and they go crazy. You held them hostage for years. Let them
now they're pissed, and they have more power now.
Yeah, that's what the chickens come home to roost, right? This is a classic example.
And let's let the chickens eat the bosses.
Yeah, I don't feel bad for them one bit.
Me neither.
All right, so the one from the last show that got the biggest reaction and a lot of comments to me, it had nothing to do really with Jimmy alone. It had to do with all of us. Was the Russ Wilson Hall of Fame debate. And it seems like it's kind of split right down the middle. I don't remember kind of where, Jimmy, where did you stand? You stood that he was in?
Yeah, I stand that he's in. If we look at it, without any bias, I think he's in. I don't think he's like a home run. I don't know that he needs to be first ballot, but I think he's, I'm not, but I think you got to put him in.
Yeah, I lean to the no. So here's my biggest take. The last 3 years have to count for something.
They do, but a lot of people don't look at the end of their career, and his just came quicker than anybody else's. And he's also and he's unlikable, like right, like so that also hurts his case because he doesn't seem like a guy that any of us want to hang out with, right? And neither do his teammates. So that's why I say if we look at it, if we take away the last few years, and we just because he had it. His last few years would matter if he had a very short period of time where he was really good. But he had a decade where he was really good, and then he fizzled out in his last 4 seasons. So, and when you look at his stats, they add up. Now, he's not, like I said, he's not a home run. There's some weird, if you look it up, there's some weird calculation they use for this, and he ranks well above Eli Manning in that calculation, but he ranks below even guys like Matt Ryan, right?
All right, so that was the one that was brought up, and it got me to go off on a couple text messages I'm on with some of our listeners. Matt Ryan is a home run Hall of Fame. It's not even a debate. He's a fucking home run. They are never going to leave out a guy top 10 in touchdowns and yards passed for out of the Hall of Fame. Why would you have a Hall of Fame? Yeah. He's top 10 in 2 of the most important stats.
Yeah, no, and I agree with that.
He's a home run Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he should be in as well. But Russ being the only person, and obviously we think,
and don't even compare those two. Is one of my other points. They're not even in the same category. Matt Ryan is so far better of a quarterback than Russ Wilson. It's not even comparable.
Right. But it's not a debate between those two. It's just should Russ be in and should he shouldn't, right? Or should he not? And I think he should. Like I said, I'm not saying he's first ballot, but I do think he should get in. He's got a Super Bowl win. He lost another one. He's the only quarterback to throw for 40 and run for 5. I'm sure Lamar will, if he plays long enough, will obviously join that club. Lamar might be the first 40 and 10 guy. But he's the 5th all-time in passer rating. Even with those last few years being shit, he'd be higher if those years didn't happen. He's got some other wild stats. I think he's tied with Elway for most game-winning drives. Like he did enough. And again, I think of the Hall of Fame. We talked about it with Pete Rose. It was an argument for Pete Rose. You can't tell a story of baseball without Pete Rose. I don't think obviously Russell Wilson's not nearly as important to football, but I do think the whole era that he led was, a big story in the NFL, and he's got a title under his belt. So I think he gets in. It's not a hill I would die on fighting for Russ Wilson, but I think on the surface, if I wash away my bias because he doesn't seem like my favorite person, kind of like a little bit of dweeb, I would say based on what we saw him do, he's a Hall of Famer.
I think his charisma is a little low, but that said, like who gives a shit about that? First ballot, probably not. That's my guess. I think that's a low chance. But probably year 2, year 3, he's in. But the thing we're not remembering is, number one, Jimmy and Greg said it, he won a championship, number one. But also he was a 10-time Pro Bowl. Like, you don't make the Pro Bowl 10 times. That's a lot. You kind of got to let him in regardless of all the other stats you guys said. So, as much as I was leaning the other way on last show, and he's not really that memorable. I'm a Patriots fan, so I remember him, but I'm not sure how people that are not either Patriots fans or huge Seahawks fans will remember him. But I'm gonna lean the other way, and I'm fighting myself on it. I don't really like it. It feels bad, but I'm gonna let him get in. Year 2, 3, 4.
He is. I wrote these stats down just to have too. They're not overly impressive, but I mean when you combined, even because he's 16th in passing yards all time. He's 12th in passing touchdowns at 353. He's 13th in playoff victories, and he's got a Super Bowl. Yeah, I think he's probably getting in.
Yeah, I guess he's in. He just, to me, he's not a home run.
No, I agree. He's not a home run. And again, it's not a hill I would die on. I wouldn't be like, oh, Russ has to be in. This is ridiculous. If he doesn't get in, he doesn't get in. But it seems like, based on everything we just talked about, he would theoretically get in. Did you have a lot of people saying no, he shouldn't get in? It's ridiculous.
No, it's just it kind of turned more into a debate of wouldn't you rather this guy than that guy type of thing, and it always came to yes. I would start Big Ben over Russ. Right. I would start Ryan over Russ. Drew Brees, it wouldn't even be we wouldn't have a debate at all. It would be Drew Brees over Russ. I mean, there's so many quarterbacks from even his era that I would start over him.
For sure. I think the only pushback on that I would give is they're all in the Hall of Fame, right? They're all Hall of Famers. And so if you think about it, we should be debating him against guys who didn't get in and say this guy should have got in over him, not guys that are in.
Matt Ryan's not in yet.
He's going in though. Everybody knows.
Okay.
He's not in, you're right. But he's going in. like you said, he's assumed that he's getting right in. I feel like Russ and Eli are the two that we have right now that are in flux. Like right, there seems to be a pretty clear line. I guess Phil might be. I don't think Phil's going to get in, but he'll probably be in that same debate because he never won anything in the playoffs.
So, who would you start, Eli or Russ?
In their prime, I would start Russ because he was much better regular season quarterback. It wasn't really close. Eli had 2 amazing playoff runs, but
Rivers is in.
Yeah,
no doubt about it.
I hope he is.
There's no doubt about it. He would be in over Russ, in my opinion. He has a better record all time. He's got 64,000 yards, 425 TDs. There's no way he's not in.
Yeah, when he retired the first time, that was the big debate on all radio, on all shows, was this Phil, and it was pretty split. I agree. I think Phil's in too. I 100% agree.
You can't look. Super Bowls are great, but it's the ultimate team sport. So you can't put guys like Eli in or say, well, Russ has a championship, so we got to put him in, and not put someone like Philip Rivers in.
I agree. I think Phil's the best of those 3.
Me too. I agree with you 100%, especially in his prime.
Yeah, but like I said, Eli was. I mean, he was steady, but it's not like Eli wasn't a great quarterback in the regular season. He was good. I would take him on my team, but his touchdown to interception ratio wasn't great. I think he was right at 500 for his record.
Probably.
I'm jumping in
he had
here.
2 unbelievable runs in the playoffs.
I fucking hate the Giants, clearly, just on principle. But that doesn't mean I don't respect them. And Eli has to get in the Hall of Fame. He has to. He beat 2 of the best teams, maybe not in history, but top 20 teams when he had no teammates that were super significant. Like, the group was not amazing. Sure, he had Strahan and a couple others, but on the whole, he did not have.
His first Super Bowl, that defense was absolutely absurd.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The front 7 was maybe one of the best front 7s we've seen.
It was very good.
Fine.
Yeah. And how dare you speak of Mario Manningham from Michigan like he's nobody?
Stop it, bro.
And how about the guy who caught the ball in his helmet? I mean, I know he's at a car wash right now.
There's nothing I've ever seen that caused me
for the ring.
Like, question my life purpose, but that was one of them. It was like, he didn't catch that. There's no fucking way. There's no way he caught that. I remember exactly where I was standing, and he did absolutely catch that. Just to be clear.
But he did. But here's. Like, Eli had 8 games that were amazing. He had 2 4-game runs, right? They were wild card teams.
It was like a 9-game, 10-game run because they wanted him fucking fired after like 7 games.
Yeah, but they still they limped into the playoffs 9-7. Like,
yeah,
and then they had a 4-game run. They went wild card.
Filter his stats from then on. You'll blow your mind.
I believe it.
Ridiculous.
But the Eli is the exact opposite of Russ, and he's overly likable. Like, he crushed on Saturday Night Live. He was better than Peyton, which is wild. He seems like I want Eli to come hang out and bullshit with us and drink a beer. He's this dry sense. Like,
I mean, it's rude. He's not on this podcast.
Yeah, he should.
In my opinion,
yeah,
he's being rude.
Where the hell are Eli?
I mean, he's your neighbor, Jimmy. Go get him on the show.
Yeah, he
at
loves Jersey. I mean, what's there not to like about Eli? Right?
I agree. You know what? He's the type of guy who wouldn't shock me if he's like, I heard these guys. I'll go on the podcast.
Yeah. Hey, guys. I'll talk with you idiots.
Patriots fan. Like shows on here. I'll do whatever you got to do.
Like, fuck those guys.
You threw passes I never thought were possible against my Patriots, and you beat us twice, and it really pissed me off, you asshole. And thank you very much. Much respect. Hall of Famer. I'm going to call you Hall of Famer. Eli Manning.
I would put him in the Hall, too.
No, I'm titling him that, though. I actually said it.
What happened? What happened with the fallout here with Ajuk and the Niners? Why do they hate each other so much?
I don't know. It seems like a lot of these things get to this point until the money comes.
Yep.
You think he stays? I think there's zero chance he's a Niner.
No, I think he probably goes.
Cleveland Brown or no?
I highly doubt it. I don't think. I mean, look, Ayuk had a really good couple of seasons, but that's kind of like I'm not saying he's not a really good receiver, but I don't know if he's a true number 1. I think he's probably a high end 2, right? So I don't know. I'm sure somebody will want him, and maybe he'll prove me wrong. It'll be fantastic this year. I hope he is. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe John Lynch is just playing hardball and doesn't like it.
Yeah, maybe. All right. Before we get to fantasy football, because I'm pretty sure Jimmy's a fan of these movies as well. Did you see they're skipping 23, but we're getting a 24 Jump Street?
I didn't.
Oh, yeah. Yep. They're in negotiations right now.
All right.
Yep. Jonah Hill's it's already written.
I love it.
He's
Yeah.
He's negotiating with his co-stars right now. So hopefully we get them all back.
The 22 Jump Street was really good. 21 Jump Street was phenomenal.
They're both good. They're both great.
Did you guys ever go back and watch the original? It was Johnny Depp's whole.
Well, that was a show. We're talking about a movie.
I know. Did you ever watch it though?
Yeah, sure. I've seen the show.
I don't think I have actually. Yeah.
Oh, you should go back and watch a couple episodes. Just get the feel.
Nothing like the movie.
No, it's nothing.
When Ice Cube comes out in the movie is just it went from an 8 to a 12 when he came out.
It was unbelievable.
I was watching it today, honestly. It was all right.
So you're looking forward to it? That's why I brought it up.
Oh yeah,
yes,
yeah. I didn't know it was coming out. Now I'm pumped. Yeah, that's fantastic. It's so good.
I just need Ice Cube to sign on. That's all I need. He's got to be the chief. That's all.
I'm sure he would. Why wouldn't he come back and do it?
Oh my god! All right, I'm looking forward to that. So we'll update you as we go. Hopefully, our listeners actually care. They probably don't. It's fine. Fantasy. Are you following the rankings at all? Because it's June 11th now. Are you paying attention to some of the changes? So I'll give you some of the big ones. Amaraz moved up the board quite a bit now. He's number 6 overall, the overall pick. The receivers have jumped the running backs in the overall rankings. Jamar Chase 1, Puka 2, Bijan 3, and Jamar Gibbs 4 now. JSN 5. A-Chain has fallen all the way to 13th. Trey McBride holding at 17th. He's definitely our top tight end.
So which rankings are you using?
Yeah, I use the only ones that matter, Fantasy Pros.
All right, so I'm gonna jump. So I was too, and I see it. I have different.
Are you not in PPR?
Am I not in PPR? I'm in half PPR.
No, that's why. So why don't you move it to the fucking structure everybody plays with?
Let's see here. All right, there we go. Now I'll get Now we'll get it down. Yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs dropped to 4 when that happens.
So here's my thing. And Jimmy, you little prick, don't try to snake me in our draft, or I'll come right down to Jersey and throw punch you.
Hey,
DD. Well, because you two boobs who split your team wouldn't think of this on your own, so you're just going to steal this from me because we do a show together. I'll tell you the quarterback I'm targeting, Ryan. Everyone's going to think it's Joe Burrow. It's not. If I can get my hands on Dak Prescott, because these other morons will undervalue him, he's got 2 receivers. 2 receivers in the top 16 picks in fantasy.
You'll get
the way they're going to score, that's how they score.
Yeah.
Dak has to throw him the ball.
Well, you'll get more than you'll lose.
Dak is QB1 on my board right now. And there's a huge value on him.
But you're right.
He is being drafted so far down the board in a lot of these drafts. I mean, he's QB 11.
Well, I will say that the one factor you may not be, you haven't said anyway, is he's injury prone. So we'll see what happens with that.
No, he's going to get through the season. I'm
not saying that. I'm just saying he's got some injuries and he's been in the league, a while now.
I'm not looking for your back talk. I'm looking for you to.
How about the disrespect for a Super Bowl winning Sam Darnold being ranked 23rd, one slot below C.J. Stroud?
The reason behind it is he's not a great fantasy quarterback.
Right. Yeah.
He wins games, but he's not a great fantasy quarterback.
Yeah, doesn't run.
I don't understand why Deshaun Watson's not up there, Jimmy. Come on.
They were that was a highlight going across the ticker today that literally they're going at it back and forth, fighting out for the spot. I'm like, are you guys really putting that on the ticker? There's no way. There's no way Sanders is anywhere close to his caliber. There's no way also that he's as scummy as Deshaun Watson is. So it's like a weird, I don't know, plus and minus, I guess.
You agree with the QB rankings, Jimmy, that you see on the PPR? Or is there something you disagree, change?
I mean, I'm kind of, and I'm not saying this because, Ryan, you're sitting here, but I think Drake May is number 3 is really banking on him continuing what happened last year with all the shit that's going on there. I think
That's total insanity that he's number 3. There's no way.
I
'Cause
think
I'm
that's
looking at
pretty.
the same thing you are. There's no way.
Yeah,
That's too high. And
I think that's pretty
I
wild.
appreciate the respect. I've always knocked the disrespect, but that's too much.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
I'd go if I was putting my top 10, it would be Allen, Burrow, Lamar. Then I would probably go to Drake because I do think he throws the long ball. He can run. I'd probably go Drake 4, a healthy Daniels 5. I don't like Hurts. I have a feeling Hurts is not going to be a top 10
Daniel's
quarterback
got to
this year.
drop out. You got to drop him out.
I
He
think
had one
Jaden.
green
I think
season. He's not
Jaden.
proven.
No, I think Jaden's going to be all right. He puts up points. He's got
I
legs.
would like him to be all right, but we don't do emotion.
Herbert 6, Williams 7, Dak 8,
Purdy's got to be in there, man. He's got to be
Trevor
top
9,
8.
and Mahomes 10.
Oh, I don't know. And they got Murray, number 12. And who's he's even competing for his job, right? Who's in camp with him right now? Kyler Murray.
I see him at 17 here.
Yeah, I see him at 17.
I see him at 12. But who's he competing with? There's somebody.
Yeah.
You're talking about J.J. McCarthy?
Yeah, McCarthy.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Michigan. Right.
Yeah, there's zero chance J.J. starts over Kyler Murray.
But
Yeah.
that came across the ticker today.
Yeah, well, it's fucking June 11th. A lot of stuff's
I
gonna come
get
across.
that. I'm just saying, like,
pay attention until
how do you even highlight that? That's
first week of
not a thing.
September because J.J. was the starter.
Ah.
He's lost his job. Kyler Murray is going to start in Minnesota. I'm a Michigan guy. Trust me. I got on this show a year ago. I got on this when I was helping out with a different show. I said J.J. McCarthy was going to be a top 10 quarterback in this league. I was dead wrong. Kid sucks.
No. It's so different.
All right. What about running backs, Jimmy?
All right.
Is there anything on the running backs list you don't agree with?
I mean, it's the same thing. We're really betting that Genty gets better this year. He didn't do a lot last year to prove that that's going to be the case.
Yeah, but you got to figure Cousins will open up the passing game a little bit.
Yeah. I think Kenneth Walker at 11 going to KC.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty down the board. I think Saquon dropping to 10.
No, I agree with that. I don't think he's gonna have a good year.
Yeah, that's that. But it's surprising where he is. I think Bucky Irving's value at the 20th ranked guy, and I think Junkins would be top 5 if he wasn't hurt. So I mean, I don't know that he's going to start the year.
I would probably. I know he's fallen. I know they're gonna suck, but I don't know who else is gonna score. I would put A-Chain running back 3, not 6. That would be the one big switch I made. Who else is scoring on Miami? He's going to be in there he's going to be a 3-down back. He's going to catch the ball. He's going to run the ball. He's the only dynamic player they have.
Yeah.
It's the NFL. They'll be competitive in games. They're not going to win a lot, but they'll score and they'll win 5 games probably.
Yeah.
He's going to be the one. He's going to be the one score. I don't. You know, it's going to be funny if Miami winds up being good, isn't it? Because everyone's already written them off that they're going to be fucking awful.
I seriously can't wait.
Malik Willis is every chance Malik Willis is gone, he's looked good. He's looked good.
Exactly. That's what I was just thinking, Jimmy. That's why I said it.
Yeah. So maybe. I mean, they've got a new coach, new coach, new quarterback, a good running back.
Are you ready for this? If you didn't catch it, I know because I know it made some social medias. The greatest fantasy football punishment of all time I saw this week.
I did not see it.
Okay. It is. Well, Jimmy, when I tell you it's phenomenal, it's phenomenal. So, the loser of this league at the end of May, beginning of June, has to dress up, full costume, go trick-or-treating, can't tell the people the doors that he knocks on why he's doing it until he gets 10 pieces of candy.
That's pretty
Did you
good.
see the one where someone lost a bet and had to go wrestle a high school wrestler in a specific leotard that says "I lost fantasy," and it was like neon yellow? Oh yeah, that was a good one. There's lots of them if you start googling them. Crazy.
Awesome.
I want to go back to mine for a minute. First of all, it's May, end of May, early June. You're a grown-ass man going to a door asking for a piece of candy.
Oh, it's bad, yeah.
Now, how many people have candy on hand to give out at the end of May.
Yeah.
So I'll be honest with you. If I have
you.
a Snickers bar, if I have one Snickers bar in my house and you knocked on my door, it wouldn't be going to you.
It's pretty good.
To me, that's the best one.
Did they actually follow him around?
If you look on social media, it's out there. Just Google it. It's out there somewhere. Yeah, it is phenomenal. What I kind of want to play in that league.
Yeah,
I really, really, really do. All right, time for some picks. That's how we end it. 1-1. By the way, 1-1. Of course, Carol. Of course, Corey Hart couldn't hold the lead here.
No, don't mess around with Greg when he's in the shades. But listen.
Well, I'm going to say it all the time now.
Yes, I like it.
All right, so it's 1-1 there. So Jimmy, go ahead. Give us the official UFC.
Okay, so I'm going to go against my heart on this one, and I'm going to tell you Steve Garcia gets the win over Diego Lopez. Bet him, it's plus 130. You're getting a little plus money on it. Not going to lay. Diego Lopez, I love to watch fight. My heart wants to see him fight. I wants to see him win this fight. But Steve Garcia's got, like I said, two really... The David Onama win is a great fight, is a great win, and he beat Calvin Kattar right before that. So we're going to be on Steve Garcia as a small dog to pull that off. After that, it gets, like I said, a little muddy because there's just not a lot you can bet, and I don't want to get into some wild parlays. But we are going to take Alex Pereira minus 108, and he will become a 3-division champion. And then we're going to throw a full unit on Justin Gaethje at plus 390, just because why not? Because maybe he gets it done. It can happen.
You told us why not.
Yeah, I know I did.
You told us like several times.
I did, but I love him. And this is at a and he can get anybody out of there. And I think that it's you want to throw a half unit on it for fun, do it. There's certainly no way. Even though I think Eli Topuria is great.
Jimmy's like, this guy's going to dehydrate himself, starve himself, do all these things to make weight. The other guy's going to be living his best life, eating, drinking.
No, that's a different fight.
Sorry,
different
I thought
fight.
This was what we were talking about.
Different fight. It's okay. But
right.
I'm going to throw a couple of bucks on Gaethje, and hopefully we get the big upset. I don't feel good. I honestly don't feel good enough about any of the other favorites, even though they're big favorites. O'Malley, I would not lay 425. I'd have a tough time laying 225. I think he gets it done. But Zahabi's a legit fighter. I think Mauricio Huffy gets Michael Chandler out of there. But minus 650.
We're not betting O'Malley ever again. O'Malley blew up one of our parlays.
Yeah, you can't do that either. So those are my plays. Steve Garcia gets it done over Diego Lopez. The one I feel really good about is Alex Pereira getting it done over Cyril Gane. That's minus 108. That's a 2-unit play. Steve Garcia is a 1-unit play. And how about Justin Gaethje's a half-a-unit play? So that's how you play it. Half a unit on Gaethje, 2 units on Alex Pereira, and a single unit on Steve Garcia. That's how we're going to play this weekend.
All right. Anybody want to say the Spurs win the championship, or we're all going to agree right now? Knicks.
There's no way. They just...
Okay.
Last night was so bad.
I'm not that confident. Believe me, I won't be confident until it's done. But
Not me neither.
Yeah, but yes, the Knicks are a 5.5-point dog on Saturday.
Listen, guys and gals and whoever's listening, go watch the review. It is insane how bad they did. All the commentators think they're idiots. They just played the worst game ever. I've never seen anything like that. They threw it to the other team, gave them every opportunity. It was embarrassing. Bad.
The Knicks have lost 3 games this postseason by a total of 6 points. 1, 1, and 4. Now you're going to give me 5.5? I have money on the Knicks for the series, so I don't really feel like betting single games. But at 5.5, I think that's a good bet on the Knicks.
Could be worth a bet. Yep, I agree. Who wins the Stanley Cup?
2-2, and now it's 1-1 in Game 5. I'm
going Vegas.
I'm going Vegas because I want to see it happen.
I'm scared of that, by the way.
Tentatively go Vegas.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, that's what I want to win. But
yeah,
Jimmy, give us live odds because you can see it in Jersey. Because I'm very interested. Mitch Marner went to odds on to win the Conn Smythe minus 115 before this game. But Stahl, who scored the game winner in Game 4, scored the first goal tonight for Carolina. What are the current Conn Smythe odds?
Marner's plus 120, and Stahl is plus 200.
Wow, he was 5-1 before this game started. Yep. It's crazy how these odds go. I still think Mitch Marner's worth a bet. I think he could win it even if Vegas loses the cup. For those of you who are not aware, the Conn Smythe is not like any other sport. Conn Smythe is the MVP of the playoffs,
matters,
not of just the finals. So I think he could win. Just like it was last year, right? McDavid won it, even though Edmonton lost.
Yeah, I believe it was last year. It wasn't 2 years. Yeah, was it 2 years ago or was it last year?
I'm not sure because I know it was one of the two because he was 20 points ahead of anybody else.
Yeah.
Power play, by the way. That was an insane, stupid penalty.
All right. Someone's going on the power play, Ryan. Who is it?
Not Vegas.
What do you mean? No.
You said there's a stupid
No,
Yeah,
Carolina.
I said not Vegas. Yeah.
Carolina fucking
Carolina.
just cross-checked the shit out of someone.
Carolina cross-checked?
Yeah. Threw the guy on the
So
ground.
Vegas is going on the power play.
Carolina's on the power play.
Yeah,
What is
Carolina.
Yeah.
That's what I said. No? Never mind. Carolina's on the power play. That's what I was trying to say.
All right. World Cup. Where do you boys want to start? Tomorrow night?
No, it starts tonight.
Well, I don't think anyone's going to make the play tonight.
Good point. Never mind. We'll start tomorrow then.
All right. We got Canada and Bosnia. Anybody want to go against our neighbors to the north?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Canada
Canada's
wins.
winning.
So Ryan said we're losing already in this show. I think the U.S. wins tomorrow 3-0.
Ooh, 3-0. Big score.
I didn't say we're losing tomorrow.
No, you didn't. In Ryan's defense, he did not. He said we're losing in after.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
A group play
said-
on number 2
At
seed.
the first game, and he meant group play. That's right. Sorry. So, what's this?
Yeah,
what's
USA
the pick?
wins. I don't know if it's 3-0, but they win.
No, they're gonna win. Yeah, they're going money line. Go with that.
All right.
Sorry, this is gonna be boring because soccer's boring in the end. It's fun to watch, but it's boring to bet.
Soccer is fantastic. I love betting soccer.
Oh well, there you go.
I like. We could say anything. You'd say I'd love betting X. So
No, that's not true. That's not exactly true.
from the guys,
I like betting soccer. I like betting Premier League and World Cup soccer, and the menu and Champions League. The menu of bets is great.
That's what's good. That when World Cup comes around, that you have a lot more options. No,
You have it all in the ELP and the Champions League. You can bet corners. You can bet a ton of shit. I love it. All right, but for the futures, let's look at to reach the round of 16. Is there anyone that sticks out, Jimmy, on DraftKings that you're like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna take a flyer on them.
I mean, this is me just throwing fucking darts here because I don't know these teams that well, but I would go with USA at even money because we think they're going to get there. So why not make I know it's not a big value play, but we're pretty confident that happens. So take the plus 110 and put them in.
I'd throw
like
3
it, too.
units on that.
Tell me they're not making it there.
No, making it through the rounds. Yes. You're
So
saying
they're
the
not
bracket
making
play.
round of 16. You said they're not making it. Did he not
thought
say
you
they
were-
were losing in the first
I thought
game?
you were saying get out of group play. Sorry.
Yeah, no. This is round of 16.
No.
Like, will the U.S. make it to the round of 16? No.
I said yes.
That's what you said. Okay. I think they do. Here's the teams I think there's no chance they don't make it to the round of 16. Spain, England, and I'll give you one that's not as obvious. It's Belgium. So you can parlay them, and you get plus 175.
Spain.
You want to
England,
blow your mind fact about who's not here or not coming? Guess what country didn't make the fucking round
Italy.
again? Yeah. Italy of all things. Like, are you
They
kidding?
haven't made the last three.
I know. It's crazy. And there's a bunch of others. Like I was talking about in the Netherlands, they didn't make it a few years ago. Crazy, but they're so good.
If you add the USA into that parlay and you want to try to pick a quarter of the round of 16, it's plus 478.
Wow. That's not bad. That's good value, actually. Regardless
To reach the
of what I think.
quarterfinals, we can get even more creative here. Who reaches the quarterfinals, Jimmy?
You know this is going to be good analysis here. So let's get right into it.
You just have no clue, right?
Jimmy, throw some options to me, please.
Yeah. Hey, look, I got to tell you, I'm gonna go after their big win today with Mexico plus 250.
No way.
They're also a
Mexico's
home
not making top
country
8.
on this one.
That
Playing in
helps.
front of
You're
their
right,
fans.
because they played at Los Azteca, which is a phenomenal stadium with like 120,000 seats. But they beat a South African team that did a terrible fucking job. They got 2 red cards. It was a horrible, horrible like fight. Yeah, there's no way. But the home
Oh.
team does get some credit, so we'll see.
I'm going to try to pick. I have a bunch of these parlays. That's not going to shock anyone, right? I'm going to try to pick.
Are you under or over 40?
I probably, it's probably close to that because they're not big money, but I have a bunch of different combinations.
Shit, Jimmy
try
and I
to-
should have bet
try
that
to
a minute
monetize
ago.
here.
$50 over under whatever number.
Well, I'm off to a really good start because I had a lot of these World Cups tied into a Knicks Spurs final. So I have a lot of
dude.
I have a lot of $2 bets to win a lot of money.
Oh,
So hopefully some of this gets home. But the quarterfinal parlay I'd give you to try to pick half the field, I'd go Spain, England, Portugal, and Belgium. And that gets you 14-1.
where's Belgium at in terms of getting the Final Four?
Plus 160 to the quarters.
So, Final 16.
What do you mean?
No, sorry,
Like-
Final 16. Like 16 teams are left when Belgium makes that plus 160.
Yes.
Got it.
Well, 8 teams. They have to win their round. They have to
okay.
win that game.
Got it.
Anyone to reach the semis, Jimmy, that grabs your eye?
I'm going to go Portugal. A little better odds there. They're supposed to be a really good team. I did actually watch some stuff on this. I just can't give you any player analysis.
They're old as
But
fuck,
everybody,
though.
it seems to be France. Yeah, France and Spain are obviously the 2 top that everybody's talking about. Brazil's a little bit down the line. I didn't hear a lot. People don't. For some reason, I feel like commentators don't expect Brazil to be there. But Portugal, a little better odds, and I saw them a lot of people's top 5. So why couldn't they be top 4?
Just for some fun, the women's national team in Brazil got 8 red cards the other day. Same.
All right.
And Carolina scores because they had back-to-back power plays after McNabb got a penalty. So it was basically a 4 minutes straight. They were bound to score, and they did.
Semifinals. For me, I'm going to give you a 22-1 parlay to reach the semis. It's what, Ryan? It's the 250th anniversary of our country. So wouldn't it be fitting if we played England in the semifinals?
I think.
Us and England in the semis, 22-1.
Never happening, but that'd be fun to watch. I would be very supportive.
It's a really hot take at 22-1 that you don't think it's going to happen. Jimmy, who makes the semis? Besides Portugal.
Besides Portugal.
Give me one more.
I mean, I'm going to go to Brazil because I said them at the beginning of
All right.
this.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
Brazil's on the downturn.
How about the champion? Who wins this thing?
I'm going to stick with Portugal right into the end. I said Brazil before, but I'll stick with Portugal.
France.
France wins it. I know. It's a lot of people like France. So, Jimmy, I'm between 2. I'm torn between 2 because I'm not betting the 2 favorites. I'm going to go for England to finally do it after all these years, or Portugal. Those are the 2 teams I think. One of those 2 teams are winning it.
For England. That'd be amazing.
And let me see specials here. They must have taken it down because it started, but I don't feel like looking it up. But I bet it already. I have a future on the exact final matchup. I guess you could just parlay it to reach the finals now, but they had the combination, and I had England and Portugal in the finals. And if you parlayed it, you get 23-1 right now for both of them to reach the finals. I think there's an exact result that was somewhere too. The other one, we're not there anymore. They had team wins up and they had props, but the US is not there for some reason. It's Canada that they have up, which is dumb. Let's see. Top European team. I guess that's just comes down to all the favorites anyway, so that's stupid. Top Asian team. Japan, South Korea.
I mean, Japan's the favorite very much so.
Let's see if I don't know why there's not a lot of US props over here. Man, FanDuel had way more props for the U.S.
Don't know.
All right. How about group play futures? Do we have any of those, Jimmy, to win the group? Do you have any of those?
I mean, I've got groups. Just goes to the groups. I've got futures. I don't have group play futures.
Man, weird.
Really striking out at the end of the
Oh, okay. I got it. Group winner. Good, Ryan. USA plus 140. Turkey plus 175.
Soccer.
You're going Turkey still? win the group.
Probably. Soccer's tough. You know, it's going Turkey.
All right. U.S. wins the group. Jimmy, your thoughts?
U.S. Gotta root for the boys.
I'm rooting. To be clear, I'm rooting. I'm just
You're
not
obviously
putting my
not.
money on them.
You've been rude about them the whole night.
Okay, that's fine.
I mean, you sit here listening to you talk about fucking Penn State wrestling, and you can't even root for the U.S. men's national team.
No,
What's wrong with you?
root is different. Putting money on them's another thing.
Put fucking $3 on them to make the semifinals.
That's my whole unit. Don't disrespect
I know.
my unit.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it'll get you $34. It'll be great for you. No, sorry, you have to put 4 units to get 34. It'll be fine. What happened, Jimmy?
I'll consider it.
Vegas had a very big scoring opportunity and missed.
And missed,
Yep.
obviously,
They did.
based on your face.
Yep.
All right, Jimmy's got to go blow balloons up. So, Jimmy, give us your final thoughts before you go make some balloons.
We got a hell of a weekend. We've got USA
you don't.
playing tomorrow night. We've got the Knicks Game 5 on Saturday, and then we've got USA Freedom 250 on Sunday. What a 3 days we have ahead of us. Can't wait to talk about it next week on the show. Hope you win some money.
Ryan, what do you got for us?
Listen, Greg talks about the NCAA being the greatest ever, and it is great. But these last 2 weeks with hockey and basketball, now we got UFC coming up on the White House lawn. It's amazing. Gotta love it when you can turn on every night, except for Sunday nights, apparently, the last 2 weeks. Every other night you can pull on and just watch a fantastic event and enjoy it. Have fun with sports. Merry Christmas. There you go.
Congratulations, Knicks fans. Lefty, do better. We'll see you next time.